An alleged impaired driver involved in a disturbing hit and run faced a judge in Clearwater today.
Yeah, police say the suspect struck and killed an e-bike rider and then drove for several blocks with the victim on his windshield. That happened Saturday night on 49th Street South in St. Petersburg. News Channel 8's Alessandra Young is at the scene with the latest.
This fatal hit and run happened here along 49th Street Saturday night around 10 o'clock. Investigators say the suspect was driving under the influence when he hit a woman on her e-bike and then continued driving down the road with her on his windshield before fleeing. A memorial now grows where Kirsten Strang spent her final moments. It was here where investigators say she was found after being hit almost a mile away along 49th Street. Police say Xavier Rigby was behind the wheel. They say Rigby hit Strang and continued driving with her body on his windshield for 8 blocks. St. Pete police say they later caught up with Rigby and he showed signs of being impaired. Cops say Rigby also refused to cooperate with field sobriety tests. During Rigby's first court appearance earlier today, the judge had some strong words.
I'm finding that you're a danger to the community and that nothing else can secure your decision making and putting your life and everyone else's life on the road.
And also highlighted his history with allegations of DUI.
Here you are with a prior leaving the scene from 2022. Then in 2024, the state was generous enough to reduce your DUI to a reckless. For purposes of bond, it's a DUI. So then, here we are now.
Xavier Rigby is charged with leaving the scene of a crash involving death, vehicular homicide, leaving the scene, and DUI manslaughter.
We've now gone to a second DUI, but this time with extremely aggravating facts where you've killed somebody, left the scene, and dragged their body, and I don't even need to go any further for how aggravating these set of facts are.
Rigby was given no bond for his leaving the scene and vehicular homicide charges and a $750,000 bond for DUI manslaughter. In Gulfport, I'm Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.
That's heartbreaking. You know, you don't ever want to hear somebody get hurt on the job or, so close to home, and I wish the best for their families.
We're learning more about a city worker now who was killed in Port Richey. The daughter of Gary Greger tells us her father is the man who died in an incident at a lift station yesterday afternoon. We've also learned another worker who was injured was treated at the hospital and released. Port Richey police expected to provide more information about exactly what happened to us later today. We're going to let you know what they reveal both on air and on our website. Well, right now, the Hernando County Sheriff's Office investigating an overnight armed home invasion at the Hammock Ridge apartment complex in Spring Hill. Deputies tell us a suspect has been identified. There is no threat to the public. No injuries are being reported. We'll bring you more updates as we get them.
Live, this is News Channel 8 at 11 on your side.
The Hernando County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly case of elder neglect, the worst they say they have ever seen. Good evening, I'm Keith Kate.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. Deputies say a 79-year-old woman is dead because her son failed to take care of her. News Channel 8's Ryan Arbogast reports.
Clear and utter neglect. The Hernando County Sheriff's Office says this home in Spring Hill was a literal house of horrors. They tell us they believe a son left his mother to die here. Lights on, no one's home. A crime committed in this house that's left first responders stunned.
There was a fire captain that was out on scene. He told us, he's like, in the 20 years I've been doing this, I've never seen anything this bad.
The Hernando County Sheriff's Office telling 8 on your side that Jason Russell was his elderly mother Maureen's caretaker. The 79-year-old couldn't talk, walk, or eat on her own.
He said that in order to take care of her, he would have to clean her by wiping her down or just dipping her in a pool.
Mom Maureen was found unresponsive at her Spring Hill home on September 18th. After Russell called 911, deputies began to think this wasn't just a dying of old age scenario when the supposed caretaker wheeled his sick mother out to the street and refused to let cops inside.
That was one thing that Jason was concerned about. He didn't want us going in the house because it looked really, really bad, which it was.
Maureen was literally rotting away with pneumonia, sepsis, and maggots. The house covered in bodily fluids and full of bugs.
We want to make sure people that are doing this are held accountable.
The elderly woman passing away a few days later, unable to speak with police. We asked HCSO why someone could let their own mother die in their shared home.
We're looking into maybe some exploitation of financial means that may be alcohol related, some of it. Not that that's an excuse, but he was drinking alcohol when we were there.
Russell is being held no bond on a felony charge of elder abuse. Reporting in Spring Hill, Ryan Arbogast, 8 on your side.
Slowing down in school zones is about to become a around-the-clock responsibility for drivers in Hillsborough County.
Yeah, starting today, deputies will be watching for speeders throughout the day instead of just before and after school. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur joins us now live in Hillsborough County after speaking with parents and the sheriff's office about what prompted this change. Georgia.
Josh and Paula, I spoke to neighbors who live in this neighborhood here and parents whose kids go to school right behind me who say they witness people flying through the school zone and the stop signs here, which is why the sheriff's office say they will be extending the times of the school speed cameras to limit misunderstandings. Neighbors who live next to Frost Elementary School say traffic isn't just busy in the morning or afternoon, it's dangerous all day.
I used to. I don't anymore because nobody stops. They fly by there like there's no tomorrow.
Betty Bollick says she even had to step in herself.
One morning I helped a kid that might have been nervous crossing, and I actually had to help him cross the road. Falkenberg is dangerous. This sometimes the people that live at the other end of the street, they just fly.
The sheriff's office says that kind of feedback is why cameras will now run from 6:40 a.m. to 5 p.m., not just during drop-off and dismissal.
We were getting some feedback where the signs were rather confusing, especially in areas where there's multiple schools that share the same roadway or in some instances the same driveway. So by providing the speed zone enforcement throughout the entire day, hopefully it'll make it clear to the people that are traveling through those areas, and they'll slow down.
The cameras generated nearly 6,000 citations, totaling more than $300,000 in fines. Officials say nearly half of that revenue funded safety measures, and $15,000 went to additional crossing guards.
I feel like when people get a ticket for, speeding in this area, I feel like they'll start following directions over here.
And those new enforcement times will be all throughout the 29 Hillsborough County schools. They say more could be added depending on the traffic and safety data that comes in. Reporting live in Hillsborough County, I'm Georgia MacArthur, 8 on your side.
To storm surge, it is one of the most dangerous and potentially deadly impacts of hurricanes. And we need people to not compare future storms with the storms that happened last season.
It has been nearly a year now since Hurricanes Helene and Milton devastated parts of Sarasota County, and officials are reflecting on the recovery as well as the lessons learned after many homes and businesses were destroyed.
That includes one of the area's biggest tourist destinations, St. Armand's Circle. News Channel 8's Melissa Marino is there with the story.
You can see visitors are here. Many businesses are back open, 75% of them. But 1 year later, recovery efforts are still underway and several businesses are still trying to reopen. September 26, 2024, Hurricane Helene brought record storm surge to Sarasota County. Businesses, homes, and vehicles were feet underwater. In some communities, sand and debris filled the streets. Just days later, on October 9th, Hurricane Milton hit, the storm bringing more flooding, debris, and widespread power outages, and one of the largest evacuations in county history. Nearly 1 year later, Sarasota County emergency management officials are reflecting on one of the most historic hurricane seasons.
One of which is that it does not take us being in a forecast cone in order to be impacted tremendously by these storms.
For business owners on St. Armand's Circle, the lessons are personal.
We were 4.5, 5 feet underwater.
Deb Goldberg manages the Giving Tree Gallery. She says floodwaters from Helene filled jewelry cases and destroyed all of their merchandise.
We had to get rid of everything, pretty much.
The shop was closed for almost 2 months.
Despite the challenges, Goldberg says the community is making a comeback.
So many of our neighbors were able to come back and we look better than before. I mean, it was so devastating that we really and truly weren't sure what was going to happen.
County officials say the aftermath of Helene and Milton led to dozens of changes in their hurricane response, from debris management to expanded shelter capacity.
And that's why this is important today. We are just past the midpoint of the season.
For residents and businesses, the message 1 year later is clear.
This is a staunch reminder that we must stay vigilant.
We're told several more businesses are reopening in the coming weeks. In St. Armand's Circle, I'm Melissa Marino, 8 on your side.